Happy Mama's Day. If you are watching this segment, instead of being with your mama, I'm going to need you to pause it and or come back to it tomorrow because today is about your mama. And I got a mama. I love my mama. I think that every Mama's Day should be a special Mama's Day. I think that all sons and daughters should bring flowers to mamas on Mama's Day. This is a mama-friendly channel. Mamas really have made this channel go from donating stuff way back when I was first getting started to my mama going and be like, hey, I heard you needed another camera. Let's go to Best Buy. And now it goes from her buying me a camera to me paying people car notes. Kind of cool. It's kind of cool for your mans on the come up and whatnot. I want to take this opportunity, though, now that you're back here on Monday, to talk about Bryce Underwood and a comp of sorts to Trevor Lawrence. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on the step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. So if you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Do you think Bryce Underwood will have a better career than Trevor Lawrence? That is to say, do you think the next 3 years for Bryce Underwood will be better than the 3 years that Trevor Lawrence gave to Clemson? I will remind you, Trevor Lawrence had one of the best 3-year stretches of any quarterback in the history of the game, okay? But when you were the #1 quarterback coming out of your class and they're paying you $12 million, we're going to compare you to the best that we have here. To make this point even more clear, Trevor Lawrence wasn't even the best quarterback in college football in 2018, wasn't the best quarterback in 2019, wasn't the best quarterback in 2020, okay? Those things are awesome, but that's what Bryce Underwood is going to be compared to. Trevor Lawrence's first year, 2018 Clemson. We remember that team because the defense was ridiculous. I will never forget the whooping that they put on Oklahoma in 2015, and Brent Venables can't seem to summon that he had at Clemson. But you know what? I'm getting sidetracked already. Trevor came off the bench, still went 3,200 yards through the air, 30 TDs to just 4 picks, and had a passer rating of 157. That was his worst year in college football. His worst year. He got better the next year. He got better the next year. And if the FWAA had not been smart about it and looked at it and said, wait a second, Trevor Lawrence is going to go 3 years without being a first-team All-American, which would have made him ineligible for the College Football Hall of Fame, he might not have ever been a first-team All-American. Remember, Mac Jones had the year of years at Alabama in 2020. And the year before that, yes, Joe Burrow lit people up with over 5,600 yards through the air. For perspective here, I was watching USFL football today. Dresden Wynn came out of Tennessee Martin. He threw for 5,800 yards over the entirety of his friggin' career. And Joe Burrow did that in 1 year of football. 60 TDs to 6 picks. Ridiculous. And then 2018, hey, that's the year of Kyler Murray, dog. That's the year that Kyler Murray gets drafted in the first round, top 10 by the Oakland A's, and Billy Bean will never be able to take it back. Hey, it would be disappointing to us if he didn't play a season of college football. Oh, really? He wins the Heisman Trophy. He becomes the #1 pick in the NFL draft. Guess what he's not doing next year? Playing baseball. Because, well, in this country, we play football, right? You're going to make more money down the line playing baseball. But if you want to be immortalized in American psyche, you play football now. I don't think it's too far-fetched to say more people know about Patrick Mahomes than they do about Mike Trout. And Mike Trout is on the short list of the greatest baseball players of all time, and he is dwarfed by what Aaron Judge has been doing. And he is dwarfed by several galaxies by what Shohei Ohtani is doing, okay? That said, let Kyler turn around, turn the franchise into a Super Bowl winner, and then we can revisit this. I think this is all kind of just remarkable. But Bryce is 6'4", 208 pounds, going to fill out. He didn't have the best spring ball, but if we really going to take a lot out of spring ball, we doing this wrong. That said, Arch Manning lit up spring ball the first time we got to see him play. I was expecting the same for Bryce Underwood. So what would need to happen? He would need to win the national championship in year 1. But RJ, only Trevor Lawrence and Jamel Holloway at Oklahoma in 1985 have done that in the last 40 years. Yeah. Guess which one of them got paid $12 million to play quarterback? None of them. Nada. Zip zero. Nada. Come on now. With the great money comes the great expectation. And I don't care what Michigan fans have to tell you about this, dog. If you watch that man go out there and go 8-5, you're going to want to know why Larry's money is being spent the way that Larry's money is being spent. Okay? 8-5 ain't going to do it in 2025, dog. That's not going to be what it is. You can go down to Oklahoma and you get your behind beat. And you know what? Might need to happen because Sharon Moore forgot where he got his diploma, is what I think. He graduated from Oklahoma. He went to OU. But he wants you to remember him as a Michigan man. Make that make sense to me, dog. No. Make that make sense to me. I'm from Oklahoma. Ain't everything about this place that I like. Ain't everywhere. And there's a lot that I actually, we could have a whole different conversation about things I don't like about Oklahoma. But I'm from Oklahoma. I'm from here. I went to school here. I was raised here. Something about being where you from means the world to everybody. Authenticity, sincerity. But you go, never mind, you got a black athletic director, got a black head coach, got a black quarterback. Don't get to say that often enough at the power forward level. Hello. Still, I want to see Bryce Underwood show out. I want to see what Bryce Underwood's got. I want to see if Bryce Underwood can actually meet the hype, dog. Hey, RJ, would you hold this candle to Quinn Ewers? Sure as hell did. And he was a 7th-round draft pick. Would you hold this candle to Kyler Murray? Hell yeah. He's flaming out. A&M comes to Oklahoma, has a season of seasons. Okay? Would you hold Arch Manning to the standard? Yes, Arch Manning better quarterback Texas to the national championship. That's the way that it's looking. That's the way it's got to be going. Because if you believe the way that NFL evaluators thought about Arch this year, as they did Quinn Ewers last year, you would believe that Arch Manning would have been the difference between Texas beating Ohio State and losing Ohio State. That's where they're at right now. So we're going to do this with him in his year 1, too. But we're going to talk about him later. Right now, we're talking about your mans. We're talking about the dude that was committed to LSU, said he was going to stay committed to LSU, and then the money got big, and then he want to come back. You're getting to find out what's real important to some of these dudes now that the money's involved. Think of Nico Iamaleava. Telling you, your allegiance is going to be tested, and if you don't think that your allegiance is important in our sport, you got another thing coming. We don't play with the traitor. We don't do that. You don't just up and flip from going to OU to Texas and people forget about it, or vice versa. That ain't how this goes. No. That is one thing that we will never have in common with the NFL. Trades ain't trades, okay? We bled for this. We paid for this. This is family. The Dallas Cowboys belong to Jerry Jones. The University of Oklahoma belongs to me. That's my name on the front. You get to have it for the time that you were there. You better give it back to me in the same fashion that I gave it to you. And I dare say, even the Michigan Wolverines feel the same way. So if you are not holding Bryce Underwood to the standard that is Trevor Lawrence, I'm just going to ask you straight up and down. What is it that you expect him to be then? Because all I've said is be the kind of guy that can be a second-team All-American, that can be a first-team All-American, that can be in the Heisman Trophy conversation and does lead Michigan to a national championship. Does he have to do it as a true freshman? Not to satisfy me. No. But he can't come out here and be boo-boo. That's not going to work. That's not going to happen. We remember if you came out here and was boo-boo. Ask Bo Nix how it feels if he goes back to Auburn. People going to be like, oh, so you couldn't do all that down in Auburn? You had to go up to Oregon and do all that? Even though you're from Bama, even from your daddy is a head coach around here and an Auburn legend himself, you had to go do that. They're going to remember. They want good things for him in Denver. They wanted good things for him when he transferred to Oregon. But they do remember the last dude to lead them to a national championship is Cameron Jarrell Newton. These are the facts. And they are not in dispute. Kevin Bacon, that's my man. Few good men, that's my man.